Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the eSports Report. Currently going through all of the Season 3 Relegation Tournament. Finally, at the top 2 teams from the event. We're going to go over Team Epsilon right now, who had a 4-2 record at the event and 13-10 in map record. Remy, Nagavent, Swanee, and Royalty. And there was a huge question mark on Royalty's head. We don't even have a picture of him.
We don't even have a picture.
Who knew what this guy was going to do?
No one knew what he looked like.
No one had a clue. And one of the most impressive Hardpoint stats from any team, really, at the Season 3 relegation came from Epsilon. A 7-3 record. Score difference only +5, though.
I mean, yeah, they were 7-0 going into the grand finals against ISO. I mean, ISO just trashed them in Hardpoint.
Yeah.
That's probably why that score difference is only 5 points. But going into that final, they were 7-0 in Hardpoint. Wow. This is a strong Hardpoint team, especially with Royalty leading the charge in that game type. So going up to Uplink, 2-4, basically 0 score difference.
Is that a 0.09?
Yeah, I think it was just Royalty not showing. Yeah, they were just not showing up, or Royalty was just not showing up in Uplink, just like he was in the Hardpoint. Unfortunately, because they probably could have done a bit better in the Uplink if he was going off like he did. And then we go into S&D, 4-3 record with about a 1 round difference and 1.06 S&D team KD.
So nothing too ridiculous in terms of round differences or score differences. Very, very close games they had. Max, talk to me though. Who was the weakest player?
Nah, there wasn't a really weakest player on this team. I mean, everyone played very well, but it really just came down to the finals and just them really, the team really as a whole pooped the bed. Like JP said, they were 7-0 in Hardpoint going into the grand finals and then lost 3. So, I mean, your best game mode to lose like 3 of them in a row consecutively, like
everyone ends up with a negative KD in the grand finals. So
everyone?
Everyone. So
wow.
Isolation just dominated. It was what, a 3-1 and then a 3-0. So it was all Epsilon in those grand finals.
So really, we don't really give anyone the weakest player.
Yeah.
I mean, Swanee mentioned communication. I guess we could give that communication.
Yeah, communication, especially. I think it was in an interview with Maven. He was like, this communication is got to fix before we start playing in Season 3, or else we're not going to take any teams or something like that.
Interesting. That's something to know. Now, JP, strongest player.
Definitely Royalty. I mean, he was a surprise for all of us, I believe. He plays on 12 sensitivity, no claw, no scuff.
What?
Like, everyone's just like, what? What are these numbers? He goes 1.02 KD, which is not, like, so surprising, but then 34.21 Slayer rating, the number 4 in the entire tournament, but he's probably number 1 or number 2 because of all the teams that didn't play a considerable number of maps.
Right.
And then he's just like that in-your-face type Slayer, aggressive.
Scumpy,
he gets in a lot of engagements. I think he was in the second most engagements in the whole tournament.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
1.03 hardpoint KD, 10.4 caps, and 3.6 defends.
Oh my god.
Yeah, 38 kills per hardpoint, which is crazy in
You're basically getting
itself.
40 every single game.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
And
That's
think about it. The things that were probably lowering him were the games against Isolation.
That's true. Like when you think about that, if those games don't, I would actually be interested in the stats without the games against Isolation. Now, the game we kind of picked here was a solo Hardpoint versus Strictly Business. This was the winners round number 1. I believe this was it map 1 as well?
Yes, this is the first game of
the whole tournament, right?
Yep.
Yeah, Royalty absolutely goes off in this Hardpoint. You'll see.
Royalty goes off in every Hardpoint, but we just picked this one to showcase because, you know, come out of the gates firing. You know, who's Royalty? This is Royalty. He drops like 43.
I mean,
46, I think.
46.
There's that interesting 46. Oh my god. There's that interesting video on the subreddit that we were all kind of watching earlier on of Nature.
The turn on.
It's the turn on. And you can see just how quick his sensitivity is. And in terms of a player playing at that sensitivity, we should kind of briefly talk about that. That just doesn't happen.
Just weird.
The competitive Call of Duty, you play on low sensitivity to make sure your accuracy's on. This is basically, he's playing on like a YouTube sniping sensitivity. There's one player similar, which is Guitarger, of course, from Europe, from France specifically, who's always been known to play on a high sensitivity. Had like one of the best pistol shots in MW3, like ridiculously talented, but...
Fizz played on a very high sensitivity too in MW3.
Did he really?
Yeah, really high. Like,
has he toned it down though?
Yeah, I'm sure he's toned it down.
Okay.
feel like in MW3 you kind of needed it. Like it's like in some situations you needed like a fast sensitivity.
I guess, but on AW that's kind of.
Oh, it's how fast the game moves. I don't know how you hit a single bullet. I mean, I have trouble.
I mean, if you're used to it, I can imagine it being just so beneficial. But at the same time, like
because of how fast the movement is.
This sums up his playstyle. Though. He's a very in-your-face player. He's not going to have that kind of cross-map engagement.
Yeah.
Whereas 12 cents is going to like cost him.
Right, but I mean, like,
because if he gets into a battle fight with a Clayster, oh, he's screwed. There's no way he's winning that fight.
No,
yeah, he's spinning around circles.
I bet you my salary he doesn't win that gunfight.
No, no way. But I mean,
it's not going to happen.
Like, I guess the counter argument to that, in my opinion, would be like if he's playing at 12 sensitivity at high octane, 100% like balls to the wall. Like I don't understand how he can be consistent like that. Like the fact that he's so consistent and drops so many kills is mind blowing to me because.
Well, no, I disagree. Because of the exo movement. If he gets in a 1v1 gunfight with someone on the hardpoint and he dashes, he can already be moving his like crosshair and his cursor essentially to kill you before you can even think. Like 12 is ridiculously quick.
Yeah.
Like it's like a flinch is basically giving you a 180.
And there's one.
Yeah, right.
Like you twitch your thumb by accident, you're looking the wrong way.
Is there 15 or 20 sensitivities in AW?
There's a lot.
Yeah, I think it's 20. So 12 is really high because most pros play on
3, 4.
Yeah, from 2
like,
to
I believe 4 is average.
yeah.
Oh, sorry, I believe 3 is the average.
3, yeah, that's always like 3 has always been like medium in Call of Duty.
Right.
So, like the fact that he's so consistent and puts up so many kills, playing at 12 sensitivity is ridiculous. With no claw and no scuff.
That's a really absurd thing. No scuff.
I mean, I think like Mochila plays default as well, and I think maybe Ricky.
Doesn't Mochila have a? Doesn't he play claw?
Oh, maybe. No, I think he plays default, but still 12 sensitivity. That's just like, what?
Yeah. I don't know. Mind blowing. But
and he drops 40 plus in like every hard point.
I mean,
yeah.
All right, so let's take a look at this right now. So, Royalty is what? 11 and 13, with 3.5 minutes gone. So at this point in the game, he's like not even like heating up. This is a pretty slow start.
Yeah, I think it was second rotation he starts like tearing.
Yeah,
but think about how many kills that is that he must get in the second rotation.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, he's not even like halfway towards a 40 bomb right now. Like, you watch this and you think, okay, well, this is pretty average. And then all of a sudden, he just kind of flicks a switch. You blink and you're watching him drop like 40 kills. I mean, Epsilon as a whole, as a team right here, dominating strictly business.
I think it must have just been a little bit of nerves. I mean, a lot of pressure on Royalty.
Oh, massive.
I mean, like Swanee as an EU player, putting like everything on the line to qualify for Season 3 with this player, and for him to come out and like dominate like this.
And you play with 50% of the team that plays second at World Champs.
Yeah, and think about it, no one's ever even heard of it.
Yeah, we were like, who's Royalty? Like, Saga Royalty. He must have played at some event with some team named Saga, which I've never heard of. But
great analysis, Max.
I'm
glad you're able to figure that out.
I look at the screen and I break it down piece by piece. I started at the gamer tag. I'm going to move over to the scoreboard in a little bit. But like right now he's got 9 bullets in his gun. But yeah.
I mean, you can see how much he's picked up the slaying. It's 8 kills in the past 60 seconds. And does he get that one as well? I mean that you can kind of see just how quick his sensitivity is when he tries to turn around.
Right.
But is this Epsilon squad making any changes? Yes or no?
As of right now, no. They're kind of in the same situation.
I think they'll scrim a little bit, see how they do against those top league teams, and see. I don't know. It's hard because they really got trashed by ISO in those grand finals. And ISO's just getting into the league as well. So we got to see how they do against those bigger league teams like Optic, like FaZe, like the Nile. But I think they start out with the same squad.
You think?
I think so. If something goes wrong, I think they won't hesitate to make a change, though.
Is Royalty quote-unquote a warrior?
Not sure.
I'm not sure either.
Look at him. He's 27-20 now. He was negative before.
So, Ben, you said you disagree. How come?
I think they'll make a team change. I think they'll make a few.
For who?
A few?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think, like, who do you think goes? Remy,
I
Nagafen?
don't think Swanee stays on this team.
You don't think
What?
Swanee stays on this team?
So one of two things is going to happen.
What?
So either Swanee does stay on the team, and potentially Nagafen and Remy leave the team.
Remy and Naga leave?
Maybe it's forced.
They just...
Oh, are you talking about that squad you were talking about before?
What's the squad he was talking about before?
Oh, you're going to have to wait till Rostermania.
We may get into that into our Rostermania talks.
I want to know now, though.
I know, it's such a tease, isn't it?
I want to know now.
Such a tease. But, I don't know. I think either Swanee leaves or the team has changed quite drastically. But one thing's for sure, you look at this team right now, 153, 85, Epsilon is in full control, and I actually want to listen in to the casting for the final 3 minutes of this map, because I want to see Royalty pretty much just go off and secure the win for Team Epsilon.
That was the best event I've seen Study play on AW. You need to see that study here this weekend for SB to make it out.
TCM on your screen now is -10, getting shut down in the SMG game. And you're going to see nothing but red in the kill feed once again as Epsilon controls up until those kills. We're going to see Study try and maintain garage control. Here's a big three-piece, only is able to pick up 1.5. Anticity's going to clean up the other 2. And you're going to see Spacely now with control for the moment. Everyone just flooding into this garage hardpoint, and it's not out of control yet if you're an SB fan, but it is starting to get close to that point.
Well, the issue is SB is able to get close to the hill and then get in the hill, but they just get fouled by Nagafen and Swanee. Nagafen and Swanee just sitting outside the hill, just waiting time, just picking off players, letting Remy and Royalty just push in and cause chaos.
Anticity doing a nice job just staying alive right now. He's got some great backup there from Space. 3 players inside the hard point trying to get every last second. Look for the rotation to be going down. You can see already 2 red arrows on the opposite side of the map. Here's a big fight as Space tries to lead the charge up the street, picks up 1. Swanee on the opposite side is going to defend himself, but the first control here is going to SB.
Yeah, we saw SB with control garage first 2 Puckett, but you never felt like they got a ton of time off of it. You still see the lead heavily in Epsilon's favor. SB going to need to win a lot of gunfights up top, and as I say that, it's going to be Epsilon winning all of them. And that was huge. And something that I noticed there, you had Spacely on one side of the map, and then you had the other teammates for SB on the flip side of the map, all the way over by glass. When you rotate, you want to flood everyone together. When you pinch hills and you're trying to break them, that's when you want to just collapse from both sides.
Good calls, Matt. It looks like this one is coming down to the final moments. Royalty is going to try and stay alive, but it's Spacely inside for SB. 1 minute and 10 seconds left. And a little more than 60 points in favor of this Epsilon squad. Basically, you need every last second if you're SB here right now. Spacely gonna pick up 1, but everything else is red in the kill feed. Let's take it over to Royalty, but look at Remy, man. 34-36, the 17 captures right up there with Spacely 16.
I mean, that's an amazing game. You look at it, and a lot of people say, well, he didn't go positive. It doesn't matter. I mean, 34 and 37. 34 is a lot of kills. And then also the 17 caps, just really doing a nice job, just putting that pressure on, because when Royalty is able to just slay like this and just kind of give him free run, because you figure, Remy's the first one in the hill, he's putting that pressure. Then you have Nagafen and Swanee sitting back with those bows, just kind of creating easy lanes. It's making Royalty's job so much easier, and he's definitely capable of slaying. I mean, 43 kills, 34 deaths, 9 caps, make it 44 as he's still killing players. He's had a phenomenal first game here at Regulation.
It's the coming out party for Royalty. Everybody knows his name after game number 1. You see plus 11, a 5 streak on top of that to close things out. In the final 5 seconds, we're going to see our score tick down. It's going to be 2:06.
The coming out party for Royalty. Not sure Puckett knows exactly what that's supposed to mean. But either way, Royalty just absolutely destroyed
46.
Everything. And interesting fact for you guys, which I don't think you know.
They're childhood friends.
Close. Oh. Very close.
Very close.
Shout out to Jay Watt from TR for this. Naga, Remy, and Royalty teamed together in COD Ghosts under DMG.
DMG. I remember hearing about
You knew that. You didn't know that? I'm educating you
Who's
today,
DMG?
Someone told me about that.
Distinguished Master Guardian?
Yeah, why not?
That's the rank in Counter-Strike.
Anyway, massive props to Epsilon. And of course, Swanee. Happy to see him back in the season.
Yeah.
He deserves it. We're curious to see exactly what happens with that team. But that means there is only one team left, and it's the team which won the relegation tournament. It's going to be Isolation eSports. They came out of absolutely nowhere and just had a great weekend. For now, a quick commercial break. When we return, we'll take a look at ISO.